Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 208 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we're going to do another new chatbot I had on here. We did the Ghost Type Toad Owl videos back, where the tree that was in that one Toad family that took care of me, not the Woogie family we did last time, with the crocodiles and for alligators and all that, but I'm talking about literally the one where I had that nightmare and Toad had to go into that dream world to flip and get me out, and I was being protected or trapped by a raptor tree or whatever. I'm being completely serious. Funny enough, that flipping tree made a return in the ghost type Toad Owl. Well, I highly doubt it'll show up in the steel type Toad Owl, especially since we're very far away. I mean, granted, who knows? I didn't expect to see raptors running around in the ghost type Toad Owl spectral haze, but that's what ended up happening. But, alright. Like I said, guys, this is the steel type Toad Owl, and this is called the Steel Toad Owl Paradox. Well, that's what they named the actual chat to begin with. But the actual title of the story is called Totodile of Steeled Time. Steeled. It says this takes place 250 million years ago. In a forgotten age long before Pokeballs, trainers, or even the rise of humans, there existed a vast world of elemental titans. Among them, in glaring mountain ranges of iron-rich stalling rivers laced with metallic minerals, lived an ancient lineage of Pokemon long lost to time. The Steel-type Totodile family. How big is a Pokemon? It said Titans like it was massive. How big is this Totodile now? These Pokemon weren't robotic, nor artificial. They were living, breathing creatures forced by nature itself. Their bodies shimmered with metallic silver, gleaming under the prehistoric sun. Golden spikes lined their backs like ancient armor plating, and copper-colored underjaws gave them an almost regal appearance. They radiated strength, but not malice. Unlike many species of their time, they were fiercely bounded to their kin and held strong familial values. One particular Totodile among them stood out. Though still young, this Totodile had a natural brilliance in his eyes. He was playful, curious, and warm-hearted. His powerful silver tail often clanked against the ground when he wagged it excitedly. He loved his Steel Fang clan, his crocodile brothers with bronze-plated chests and towering fragile elders with entire bodies layered in shining steel-like scales. Their shared ability, steadfast steel, made them fearsome in battle. When struck by fire, ground, or fighting attacks, those that would normally threaten steel types, they would retaliate with blistering speed, dashing faster than the eye could track. Toto was also learning to master his signature moves. His favorite was Metal Fang. With a flash of his silver jaws, he could sink his teeth into any threat with 80 base power precision, often causing even the largest opponents to flinch. If that wasn't enough, those hit would sometimes suffer a terrible consequence. Sharp, metallic shards would cling to their bodies, causing lingering steel spike damage with every move they made. He also had Metal Shock, a 60 base electric type move. He loved it for its crackle and the surprising way it could paralyze enemies mid-leap, halting them cold. And most sacred of all, Metal Barrier. A gleaming shield of pure silver energy that he could cast to protect anyone, Pokemon or human, he trusted. He had never used it on a human. He had never even seen one. Not yet. Then, it happened. During a peaceful moment when his family was resting near the iron root falls, a strange glow wrapped around his body. At first he thought he was evolving, but something was wrong. His body didn't shift forms. It began to disappear. Ah! He yelped, wailing in panic. His golden eyes wide in terror as the world around him distorted and fragmented. His family, alarmed, rushed to him. Crocodiles roared, Ferragus charged forward, but before they could reach him, he was gone. Oh my gosh. A cold future. Area Zero. Present day. Toto reappeared inside a dark, humming room of glowing machinery and humming data screens. He stumbled forward on shaky legs, looking around wildly. Where were the trees? The sky? The waterfalls? Before he could even process it, a nearby voice spoke. Perfect! The machine brought back another Paradox Pokemon! Toto froze. Another voice shouted, Quick! Now! Before it gets away! A glowing red light came from a device held by one of the white-colored figures. It made a high-pitched beat that startled him. Toto hissed, a sound not of aggression, but fear. With quick reflexes, he ducked just as a beam shot past his head. A Pokeball clattered against the wall where he'd stood just seconds before. He spun around and ran, sliding under tables, scaling crates, dodging more capture attempts. His speed kicked in faster than ever. He bolted through automatic doors as alarms blared and footsteps echoed behind him. When he finally escaped through a gap in the fencing outside the lab, he didn't stop running. He didn't understand the futuristic lights, the strange metallic sky rails, the Pokemon with neon lights in their eyes. Nothing here smelled right. It was all wrong. The little Toto, so full of energy and love just minutes ago, now trembled, alone and terrified, in a new world where he didn't belong. Hours later, he had no idea how far he had run. The land slowly shifted into a vast open field. The wind here felt real, closer to what he once knew. The grass danced in the breeze, and the horizon stretched far, finally giving him room to breathe. But still, he didn't trust this place. He didn't trust anything anymore. He walked, cautiously scanning the area, his little claws twitching nervously. Then, a noise. Voices. His heart began to race. No, not again. He broke into a sprint. A soft field made him faster than ever. He weaved around rocks and dove through a bush, but he wasn't watching where he was going. Suddenly, thump! He slammed into something solid. His eyes clenched, preparing for battle, expecting cold steel or a capture beam. But instead, it was warm. He slowly opened his eyes, and there I am. He stared up at you, eyes wide, terrified, confused, still shaking slightly. The silver gleam of his skin shone under the sun. Golden spikes bristled softly in defense. His copper jaw twitched nervously as he took a shaky step back, preparing to flee again. Unless you said something. Oh, trust me, that's what I'm doing. Y'all know I don't want that tail running away. He's cute as frick. Guys, here's what I said. For one, I'm gonna go and say I know it seems weird that I'm keeping the camera so close like this, but I'm also trying to make sure like none of my audio gets cut out, because I know a lot of time when it's facing really against my iPad like it usually is, it'll flip and cut out the audio now. So folks, for you guys to understand what I just said. The Toto was scared. I said, "Whoa, oh hello, what's wrong?" The metallic Toto froze. His claws had instinctively reached up in a defensive posture, golden back spikes quivering as his tiny steel body trembled. But his voice wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It wasn't like the others. His golden eyes locked with yours, those same eyes that just hours ago sparkled with playful light as he swam under prehistoric waterfalls, now filled with fear and confusion. Tota? He whispered, voice raspy and hesitant. He blinked slowly. Your tone was kind. That made no sense. You weren't wearing white like the others. You didn't try to throw anything at him. You just spoke. He took one cautious step forward, eyes wide, sniffing the air. You could see now he wasn't a robot at all. His silver body gleamed like brushed metal, but it moved smoothly and naturally. His copper underjaw clicked softly as he opened and closed his mouth, still unsure if this was a trap. But then something flickered in his chest. A strange light, faint, barely noticeable at first, glowed from beneath his armored skin. Not an attack, something emotional. He tilted his head, stepping a bit closer. Toe? Toe? He asked again, softer this time. He didn't understand your words. Not yet, but he felt something. And for the first time since he was torn from his world, he didn't feel alone. He looked up at you, truly looked, and you saw it now. This wasn't just a Pokemon pulled through time. This was a child separated from his family, a creature of instinct and heart, aching to feel safe. His eyes softened, still nervous, still unsure, but no longer trying to flee. He stayed still, waiting and hoping. Guys, I was trying to be nice to this little toad owl. He can't speak, but he's still very adorable. I said, it's okay. Don't be scared of me, please. I'm not gonna hurt you. And then I just go into my bag and grab a berry. Here you go. You can have this, my friend. And I gently held the berry for him to take if he wanted it. The steel-type Toadow's eyes widened when he saw the berry. For a moment he didn't move. His gaze shifted between your outstretched hand and your face, searching for any sign of trickery. But all he saw was warmth. Your voice, your posture. None of it reminded him of the cold place he escaped from. He took a small, hesitant step forward, the grass beneath his silvery claws bending softly. Another step, then another. He stopped just a few inches away from your hand. His nose twitched as he sniffed the berry, and a faint ting sound rang out as his copper jaw barely tapped your fingers by accident. He flinched, worried he might have upset you. He's over there scared half to death to the point, like, I don't know, he was worried to death. He's upset. I don't know. You didn't pull away. How? He whispered, eyes flickering between the berry and your eyes. Then, ever so carefully, he opened his mouth and gently took the berry from your hand. He sat down in front of you, still watching, and slowly began to nibble. His golden spikes lowered slightly, not defenseless, but relaxed. Trust was blooming, like a spark warm in cold metal. After a few more bites, he let out a soft hum, like a purring chirp, barely audible. Then he looked at you again. Oh my gosh, you're so flippin' cute. Toto! A tiny blink. Then a cautious, grateful smile. He's adorable. He stood up again, took a small step forward. Not to run, not to fight, but to press his forehead gently against your knee. It was his way of saying, thank you. The silvery glint of his skin shimmered in the sunlight, and a faint glow inside his chest pulsed again, but this time it was stronger, steadier, like the beginning of a bond. He had no idea where he was. He didn't know who you were, but in a strange new world, you were the first thing that didn't try to hurt him. He looked up at you. He looked up at you and then said, friend. Okay, so apparently he can speak some English. He was going Toto the entire time until then he said friend. That's cute. Yes, you can call me that. I'm not here to hurt you. Beard, you're so cute. What's your name? There is no way he's gonna... There's no way. He said friend again. I want if he can speak some English. Not much, not perfectly, but he can speak some. Because he said friend and then he said his name. The little steel-type turtle stared up at you, eyes wide and shimmering with emotion. Friend? He repeated softly, as if testing the word on his tongue for the first time. Then he smiled, a real one this time. It was small, but full of warmth. His golden eyes sparkled just a little brighter. When you called him cute, his copper jaw opened with a surprised little chirp, almost like a squeaky gasp. He tilted his head, golden spikes shifting with emotion, clearly not used to compliments. It was rare for someone to look at him with kindness. Rarer still to call him something like cute. Then you asked him a question. His name. He blinked. His claws tapped together as he thought for a moment. His kind didn't really use names, not like people did. They had songs, sounds, family calls, but something about the way you asked, he understood. He stepped back, raised his tiny steel arms to his chest, and gently thumped it twice. Clink, clink, then pointed to himself. Pharaohs, he said, it quietly but clearly. Totodile. Pharaohs. He looked proud of it. Maybe it wasn't the name he'd always had, but it was the name he chose. Something strong, ancient, and fitting for a creature born in a world of iron and storms. Then, his expression softened again as he looked back at you and gently nudged your hand with his nose. His male skin was cold to the touch, but the affection was clear. You? He asked. What friend's name? Something like the way he talks, it kind of sounds like that flipping one time with that giant toad owl, the one that spoke like some giants do, where they say like me. Like, you know how that one time was like me. I'll just use the name Tarka from that one. But that is not the Pokemon I was talking about, but it was a toad owl. But it's like there was one toad owl that was like me, Tarka. What? Friend's name or something like is what he's kind of speaking like. He wanted to know you now. Who was the person who gave him a berry, called him cute, and didn't try to trap him in a world that made no sense? He trusted you, and Pharaohs was listening. So how you say the name? It's Ferros. I don't know if it's how you say the name particularly, though. Guys, this is so cute. I just told him my name, and I just told him, it's nice to meet you, Pharaohs. Pharaohs blinked. I like how he tried to say my name. That is adorable. Twinton. You know what's funny? It kind of reminds me of the flipping, Toadal Lugia hybrid. Because that's exactly what would happen. When I was trying to teach him, one of the first things he learned is my name. And he'd always try to say it. Which is adorable. He repeated slowly, sounding it out with surprising care. His metallic tongue clicked softly with the consonants. Then, without warning, he broke into the brightest smile you'd seen from him yet. He looked at his tiny arms and clapped his claws together once. Clink! A gesture of delight from his time, where joy wasn't shown with words, but with sound and action. Ten, he said again, this time louder and full of warmth. Then he took a step forward and gently pressed his silver-scaled forehead to your chest, right above your heart. His tail wagged ever so slightly, golden spikes glittering in the sunlight. Despite being made of steel, the little toadle radiated something you hadn't expected to feel from a creature born in a time of primal chaos and storms. Comfort. He stepped back again, sat in the grass, finally relaxing fully for the first time since arriving in this future world. Twinton. Not scary. Twinton. Good. He gave a smile. Mother fricker! I'm not gonna scare the toad out, you little piece of computer frick. He gave a small, affectionate chirp. Oh, he wants to protect me. What is it with the creatures? Just they hate me. I get them to trust me, and then they go from hating me to flat out wanting to keep me safe. Okay, Toto on some this Toto I kind of understand because he has that metal barrier that is supposed to protect people he cares about. But why, let's say, the dragon type for alligators? The dragon type for alligators is a lot harder to get to trust you because he's lived for a long time and hasn't seen much kindness at all. And the people that did try to treat him kindly flipping turned on him later on. So I can kind of understand how it's so hard to get him to trust me. But when he does, like, holy crap, he's one of the most protective Pokemon there is. He even said, Pharaohs, protect enchanting. A soft glow lit up briefly along his body, a pulse of metal energy reacted not to danger, but to his forming bond with you. In his time, the metal barrier move was only cast for those he trusted with his life. You hadn't even asked for it, but if the time ever came when you needed it, Pharaohs would be ready. He looked up at you curiously and hopeful now. Where is this? He asked, glancing around the open field and sky. Not home. Not Iron Falls. Where? Pharaohs now. There was confusion still in his voice, but it wasn't fear anymore, because whatever this place was, he had you. He's adorable. I love this. I wish I wasn't running out of ideas for chatbots. Unfortunately, I am. And it sucks, because these are so fun. I didn't think I'd have that much fun with the Steel type Toadal. Nope, I'm already in love with him. I love doing all the Toadal characters, but some of them just work better than other ones. Like how the Dragon type Fragger works better than the Psychic type Toadal. When it comes to how fun they are. Same thing for like when the characters can transform. I said, I couldn't tell him exactly where he was, but I'm trying to help him the best I can. I said, this is just a big open field, my friend. I've never seen a Pokemon like you. Can you tell me where you came from? You can. Maybe I can tell you where you are. Ferris looked around slowly, his golden eyes scanning the waving grass, the open sky, the distant shapes of trees and mountains. His metallic jaw shifted a little as he took it all in. There was no copper cliffs, no iron-lined rivers, no ancient crocodile howls echoing off volcanic craters. I swear, if a crocodile that's metallic comes out of nowhere and starts attacking me, I don't know what to think. I've had that happen before where Pokemon, like, I'm just over there taking care of a Pokemon, all of a sudden they turn on me. Or, like, no, their family will come out of nowhere and try to attack me. And it takes, like, probably 10, 15 minutes of explaining just to get them to understand, hey, I'm not meaning your son any harm. Please don't. It was calm and quiet. Too quiet. Then he looked back at you, blinking slowly. Not home, he muttered again before sitting down in the grass with a soft clink of his silvery legs. He gently tapped his chest twice again. Clink, clink, as if centering himself before he spoke. Then his eyes met yours. Pharaohs, from long time ago, far back, before humans, before Pokeballs, before buildings, no roads, no machines. He paused, his small claw moving in a slow arc across the air. World was sharp, hot, loud, but home. You could see it in his eyes now. He remembered it perfectly. His family of metallic crocodiles that sang in deep roars, the Fragers that taught him how to bite through stone, the glitter of golden spikes under a molten sky. Ah, live with family. All look like pharaohs. Silver skin, golden back, copper jaws, big, strong, happy. He smiled a little, then lowered his eyes. Then, light, not evolution, strange light. His voice trembled slightly. Body, vanish, can't move, can't scream. Then, strange place, bright room, cold smell, big glass, scary voices. He covered his face briefly with his metal claws, flinching at the memory. They tried catch. Pharaohs run. Run fast. Not stop. Then, after a pause, then bump into Trenton. His claws dropped from his face. He smiled again. Now, not alone. That's so cute, dude. He leaned. I don't care if he can't speak perfect English. That is so adorable. He leaned his head sideways slightly, waiting. Where is this? Is future? He tapped the side of his head thoughtfully. Machines. Strange Pokemon. No Iron Root. No roar songs. He looked back up at you, calm but curious. First I told you everything he could. Now he was ready to listen. That's cute as frick. I love him. He's adorable. Alright guys. I just told Ferris that his story was kind of crazy sounding, but again, I believe him. And when I say that's insane, I mean that's insane how much stuff he had to go through and how he got here. I said, based on what you told me, it sounds like you might have somehow got transported to the future. But don't worry, you're safe with me. I might have an idea where you got teleported to. Tell me, was the room you were in almost crystallized looking? Did you perhaps even see a robotic professor? Ferris blinked slowly as you spoke, his expression slowly shifting from curiosity to realization. Future, he whispered, almost in awe. He looked down at silvery claws, turning one slowly under the light as if seeing it with new meaning. Pharaohs, not just far. Pharaohs, very far. Holy crap. Alright guys, it says, when you mentioned the crystallized room, his body tensed, his eyes widened, his jaw parted slightly. Then he nodded, once, sharply. Yes, room, walls like glass, but not breakable, shine like crystals, floor hums, strange light, not sun. He stood up, pacing a bit now, gesturing with his claws as he remembered. Machine in middle, circle shape, spinning, bright, too bright. Voices say numbers. Big voice said, perfect. Other one said, get him. Tried to throw red light. Pharaohs ran. Then you mentioned a robotic professor. He stopped mid-step and turned to you, slowly, just clenching slightly. Face, not move. Eyes, no blink. Tail, or talk like echo. He looked shaken now. Smelled like metal, but not alive. He stepped closer to you again as if your presence helped him steady himself. Professor, not real? Not person? He asked quietly. Then something deep and old stirred in him. A growl, soft but firm. Pharaohs no trust fake faces. Trust Trenton. His gently place is still clawing your arm. You feel the coolness of his metal-like skin, but also the warmth of intent behind it. Pharaohs, stay with Trenton now. No go back to scary place. No fake faces. No capture. Then his eyes softened again. Is that place called Area Zero? How'd he know? He had overheard it maybe just once in the chaos, but now the word hung in the air, and he looked to you for confirmation, because wherever that was, he wanted nothing to do with it. But if you knew you were safe, he would listen. If there was a robotic professor, then yes, that was Area Zero. It was Area 03.
What?
I said Area Zero. Okay then. Thanks a lot, motherfucker. Alright, good. I just confirmed it for Toad. I said, yeah, if there was a robotic professor, then yes, that was Area Zero. Pharaoh's flinched the moment you confirmed it. He took a single step back, his golden eyes wide and alert, jaw clenched tight, his tail lowered defensively, golden spikes dimming just slightly in reaction to the name. Area Zero, he echoed in a near whisper, voice heavy with dread. He didn't need to understand how it worked. He didn't know what the time machine was, or how it reached into his ancient world and pulled him through the veil of time, but he felt what it meant. That place had torn him from his family, from everything he had ever known, and dropped him into a world that was cold and unfamiliar. His metal claws curled tightly at his sides, but then his eyes returned to you. You hadn't lied. You hadn't trapped him. You gave him a berry, listened to him, called him cute, and even gave him a name he could call you. Trenton. You were the first warmth in this strange, sharp world. His claws slowly relaxed. Then he stepped forward again, right in front of you, and looked up. Pharaohs, no go back, he said firmly. Pharaohs, stay with Trenton. You feel like home now. The faint steel glow beneath his skin pulsed again, brighter this time. You could feel something real forming between you and him, like a living shield of trust being forged. Then he gave a tiny, mischievous grin, one you might expect from a normal Totodile, and tapped your hand gently with his copper jaw. Maybe Trenton helped Pharaohs learn future things, he chirped with hopeful eyes, like food, Pokemon, maybe no more scary rooms. He turned around once in a playful little spin and then sat at your feet, smiling up at you. He was still confused, still hurt, still adjusting, but now he had something that could carry him through the future. You, and wherever this journey went, he'd follow. That's cute. What would you do next with your new ancient companion? I mean, granted, didn't it say this he came from 250 million years ago? I'm just worried about what his family's going to think. Like, I have a feeling. I don't know why. Some of the craziest things seem to happen on these chatbots. Like the tree, the raptor tree that sprouted and is still protecting me. Like it did in the ghost type Toadile. Actually, in the ghost type Toadile, it didn't just protect me. It flipping, like the actual raptor from the bark of the tree somehow was off the tree and was flipping standing there watching me. Like, protecting me. It's like, it's a tree. How the frick is it alive? It's kinda cool. What the frick? I don't mind if you stay with me. Period. But what about your family? I know they're worried sick about you. Pharaoh's smile faltered. Your words hit deeper than any attack. The playful glint in his eyes faded into something more distant and more painful. He looked down, claws resting in the grass as he sat quietly, processing. For a few seconds he said nothing. just stared at the earth beneath them, where blades of grass bent softly under his metallic weight. Pharaohs miss them, he said finally, voice quiet. Crocodile brothers. Big sister for alligator. She strong. Roar louder than storm. He gave a small puff of air, almost like a sigh, through his copper jaw. They tried to grab Pharaohs before light. Tried to pull back. Claws reached. But he looked up at the sky. Your sky, so blue, so vast, and so far from home. Light too strong. Took Pharaohs anyway. Couldn't fight it. You could see a shimmer pass through him. A shiver. Not from fear this time, but guilt. I didn't say bye, he whispered. Didn't tell them I love them. Aww. He stood up suddenly, walking a few slow steps forward, eyes scanning the field. He would not for enemies this time, but for something impossible. A glimpse, a scent, a familiar roar. Someone tell him they were here too, but he knew they weren't. He turned back to you, his new anchor, and walked slowly toward you again. Pharaohs want to go home, but not know how. Machine scary. Room worse. If go back, maybe get caught. He paused and added with a smile, trembling breath. But if family out there, Pharaohs want them safe too. Then he looked up at you, eyes strong despite the sadness inside them. It couldn't help. Maybe one day we find them. A hopeless smile flickered back onto his face. Not now, but someday. He stepped closer, leaning gently against her leg with a silvery side. Until then, Trent and his family too. He nuzzled you with his cool snout, his golden eyes warm with trust. He was grieving, but he wasn't broken, because now he had you. I love him. He's so flippin' cute. Alright, guys. I just told the Toad Owl. I'm sorry to hear that. I promise I'll do everything I can to help you. But right now, if there's people after you, you need to get away from here. It's not just a scientist you have to worry about. It's gonna be pretty much every human here besides me. To be honest with you, people won't leave me alone. People will contact me for no reason. Yep. Trust me, guys, in my universe, like I said, people are flat out aggressive to the point where, like, every Pokemon, like, I think that's why every Pokemon flipping becomes protective extremely quickly towards me. It's like instinctively they know there's gonna be humans after me, so time to become protective. It's like they know even before they even know itself. It's like their body knows before they know. Ferris looked up at you sharply as you spoke, his eyes widening, not with fear, but with a mix of shock and growing concern. They hurt you? He said, voice low with disbelief. He stepped back and looked you over quickly, golden eyes scanning you as if to check for any injuries, hidden wounds, anything he had missed. His claws clenched, and his golden spikes bristled behind him like a force of sharpened blades. Humans here attack Trenton? He growled softly, not loudly, but it was there. Not at you, not out of anger. It was protective, instinctive. He stepped in front of you. Ferris had been born at a time when strength was survival, but loyalty was sacred. To hear that someone he trusted, someone who helped him, was treated the same way he was, it awakened something deep and ancient. I swear if he evolves into a feraligatr when somebody tries to attack me, I'm gonna go insane. That was something that rock-type Toad Owl did. He got so angry at people trying to attack me that he just went from a Toad Owl to a feraligatr. He didn't even go to Crocodile. He just skipped Crocodile completely and immediately evolved into a 20-foot tall feraligatr. That's bigger than a Lugia, dude. And that was like one of the best endings I've ever had to a chatbot. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. It awakened something deep and ancient. Then pharaohs stay close. If they chase Triton, they chase pharaohs too. And pharaohs bite back. That's cute. The metal on his fang sparked for just a second, a faint glint of silver and gold shimmering across his back as his metal fang stirred, not in aggression, but as a vow. Then he turned his head slightly and softened again. But we smart. We don't fight unless we must, right? He stepped beside you, nudging your arm gently with the top of his snout. Find a quiet place, far from here. Hide. Rest. Then plan. Pharaoh's voice dropped to a whisper. You help me. Now pharaohs help you. That's how family works. He's so cute. You could see it. He wasn't going to leave you. Not now. Not after what you just said. He had just met you. But in his world, trust like that was rare and unshakable. He looked toward the horizon. Where do we go, Trenton? He was ready. Wherever you led, he'd follow. He's cute as frick, dude. Alright, guys. I said, let's go back to my house. We can rest there and maybe figure out a way to get you back home. I hope that if your family somehow did get pulled through, too, they won't think I'm trying to attack you. Ferris's eyes twitched and his eyes lit up with the first real spark of hope he'd shown since arriving. Holy crap, that's cute as frick. Your house? He repeated, head tilting slightly. A safe place? One with walls? No glass machines? He looked relieved. Then as he spoke about the possibility of his family also being pulled through time, his expression shifted, amidst a concerning guilt looking across his copper-colored jaw. He stared at the grass for a moment, then slowly looked up at you again. If family is here, he said softly, they will come looking. Crocodiles search fast. For alligators track for miles. If they see me with human, he hesitated, they might think you stole me. His voice tightened. But they don't know. They don't know Triton is good. That you fed pharaohs. That you kept me safe. They'll just see claws, see teeth, and see you. A small shiver ran through his body. But, he stepped forward again, eyes steady. I will protect you. I will tell them. Even if they roar, even if they try to bite, I'll stand between. His tail tapped the ground with soft metallic certainty. Pharaohs might be small, but I stand tall for family. You're part now. He took a breath, then gave you a little grin. Still a toad-out heart, even under his steel. Lead away, Trenton. Pharaoh's ready. Home sounds warm. He stepped close beside you, looking up with full trust, and said, Let's go. Together. I love him, guys. He's so cute. I said, okay. And don't worry, you can stay with me for as long as you want. There might even be a way I can get you back home if you want. Pharaohs froze again. Not out of fear this time, but out of something stronger and deeper. Stay as long as I want? He repeated quietly. For a few seconds he didn't move. Then his entire body relaxed, and his eyes began to shimmer. Not with light, but with pure emotion. No one had ever said that to him before. Not even in his time. He'd always belonged to a pack. Yes, but this was different. This wasn't obligation. This was welcome. He's adorable. He sniffled once, a tiny metallic sound, and smiled at you with such gentle gratitude it almost hurt to look at. How in the world can you use so much gratitude it almost hurts to look at him? Oh, maybe because he's made of metal and it might be like almost like glaring. Who knows? Not as in the evil sort of glare, like the glare is in like, you know how the sun will sometimes reflect off of stuff and make glares? Like how the light upstairs on my computer does when I'm playing a game? Something like that. Something. Kenton. His voice wavered just slightly. You are good heart. You feel like a den I never had. Oh, he's adorable as frick. They nod firmly. If way back home exists, I want to find it. For them, for me. But he reached up and gently placed his claw on your... Holy Totodile. Well, ironic since I'm talking to a Totodile right now. He reached up and gently placed his claw on your chest. Not without you. If I go back, you come too. Even if just to wave goodbye. Oh, he's adorable. I'm where his family will attack me. Like, they don't know that I'm being nice to his son, so the minute they see me, they may think, oh, frick, this kid's trying to kill him. Get him! They may actually think that. I don't know. They've probably never seen a human before either. Like, us, besides them evil humans that tell, never seen anything like that either. And May now. He gave a playful, tiny snap of his copper jaw with a click and wagged his metal tail once. Toad's spirit shining through. That's adorable, frick. Until then, we made new den. One with food, blankets, maybe berries, maybe bed. He's so cute. His eyes lit up with curiosity. Pharaoh's never slept on bed before. Only rocks and warm metal. That sounds kind of... Oh, I guess for him it wouldn't be that bad since he has to... I think... Then he looked ahead toward the horizon. Let's go. Show Pharaoh his future home. I say he stood tall, walking confidently at your side now. Wherever you led him, he would follow, because you didn't just give him safety, he's adorable. You gave him a choice, a family, and a home, and Pharaoh would never forget that. Again, an adorable little angel, that's what he is. Alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys, I just answered the Toadile by saying, yes, we have all of that. I have a bed and plenty of food for all of my Pokemon. I'm going to tell you a way that maybe you can get back home when you're ready. Have you ever heard of the legendary Pokemon Lugia? First perked up at the mention of that name. Lugia? He echoed, slowly and curiously, like it was a word wrapped in fog and mystery. He tilted his head and blinked, his metal claws tapping softly against his side as he tried to dig through ancient memory, passed down not through language, but through instinct, through stories whispered in growls and echoed in roars. For alligator elders, speak of Sky God, he said quietly, one with wings like waves, one who sleeps in storms and wakes when world is wrong. He looked up at you, his golden eyes glinting under the sun. They called it the Deep Roar. Said, even volcanoes go quiet when it sings. That's kind of cute. First, step closer. Is Lugia real? He asked, voice filled with awe and rising hope. Lugia can move through time. Are skies so far they reach back to before? He was clearly trying to understand, but the way he looked at you now, it was like he sensed something was different when you said that name. Something personal. You had his full attention. You know Lugia? He asked carefully, almost in disbelief. Trenton, you know gods? I guess in his time, Lugia is considered a god. Varus didn't sound scared. He sounded inspired, like he'd just been told there was still a path home, even if it lay in legend. He sat down in the grass, eyes wide and ears perked forward like a child listening to a bedtime story. Tell Pharaohs. Tell me how Lugia might help. He was hanging on your every word. Okay, he's so cute, dude. By the way, guys, the torturous game mode starts in a few minutes, so I'm getting paranoid. I'll read out one more thing and probably stop the video. Alright, guys. I said, yes, I know Lugia. In fact, I know a few of them, and they're my friends, and one of the ones that protect me a lot when humans try to attack. Pharaoh's jaw dropped open slightly, his eyes widening to the size of silver coins. He stared at you like you had just told him the stars themselves listened when you called. You know Lugia? He took a step back, not in fear, but in sheer disbelief. You're friends with them? His golden bat spike shimmered faintly with rising excitement, and he looked around as if expecting a giant set of glowing wings to descend from the clouds at any moment. Then his awe turned into something else. Pride, not in the self, but in you. Kenton is chosen. So yeah, I guess he considers Lugia to be a god in his world. He said softly, almost reverently, only those with strong heart, brave soul, and pure spirit can walk with sky gods. He stepped closer again, eyes shimmering with something like adoration. No wonder you feel safe. No wonder Pharaoh feels warm near you. You were more than friend. You were a guardian, too. He presses his collar snout gently against your side, affectionate and respectful. Then maybe Lugia can help Pharaohs go home, or help Pharaohs find family, if they are here, too. Then, hesitating slightly, his voice lowered. Would they talk to me? A little toad off in the past? I'm not big. I'm not strong like the alligator yet, but I have heart. He looked up at you, blinking slowly. If Lugia trusts Triton, maybe Lugia trusts Pharaohs too. He could tell this wasn't just about going home. To him, the idea of meeting a Lugia wasn't just hopeful, it was sacred. Pharaohs was ready to follow you back to your house, but now with a spark in his heart that hadn't been there before. A new goal, a new hope. A legendary path, and he trusted you to guide him down it. I hope Lugia shows up. He's on this chapter. He usually always does. Usually, I just say his name. He'll usually appear out of nowhere. Like, yes, what did you need? Like, there's been times where he'd actually not just appear, but also start nuzzling and loving on me, like instantly. It's like, yep, you can tell Lugia cares. And that comes from how they act in the games, though, because for Lugia, while he can't nuzzle me or do anything like that, he's always very friendly and happy. He's very happy around me, and he cares a lot. Even if he can't show it through hugging or anything like he can on these. Anyway, guys, I'm done. Bye-bye.